Morning. So with the little one being home, it's just me today. No Kayla. I mean, the rest of the guys will be here, but no Kayla. BJ drove the Oliver to work today.
Hey, buddy.
That's what he keeps calling this thing, the Oliver.
Hey, look, they got one of them fancy phone holders. Don't fit no phone in America.
It doesn't fit that one, does it?
Now,
brand new tractor. Phone
we
holders.
have never bought a piece of equipment that had a phone
Does that
holder
other piece come out? The other side.
What?
Like the side close to the monitor, does it adjust any?
What do you do?
That piece right there, does that expand any? Looks like we'll be putting the magnet on here again.
You get a Samsung flip phone in there or what?
Hey, does that come off there easy? Is that metal? Is that a metal bracket? So that'll be a camera mount.
Wish I had a phone holder. You hear mine thud on the hit the floor there?
That is plastic.
It's coated.
Ooh, that might
So
be.
this is going in the glove box. So this might actually fit a phone if it didn't have a case on it, but who does that besides my kids?
Well, you also have a gigantic phone if you had a normal person phone.
Wait till you get 44 years old and see how your eyes work, buddy.
Brad, you're 44. Do your eyes work?
No.
You got a smaller phone.
Yeah, you look at him squinting.
Hope he don't run over the probe. So we're bolting back on this drawbar here. And show him your tool, BJ.
You need to bring the right tool or a tool. Today we chose to bring a tool.
Got the baby impact. What'd we test? So here's the plan of attack for today. Brad and I are going to start moving trucks down. BJ's finishing dumping the trucks from yesterday. We still have to empty the grain cart. It has a whole truckload on it. Then Dad and I are going to start moving combines. He had to go run and do some things first thing this morning. By the time we get moved, I think we'll be able to get started somewhat early. For us, in this climate, like I said, there's always a fog. We farm close to the river. There's always a fog from that river. Almost every day this time of year, no one gets started around here on beans till like 1 o'clock. But today, there was no dew. So we might be able to get started, I would say, in the next hour. So we're going to try to get moved and start hammering out. We got 210, 220 acres right there in one spot we can do. See if we can get that done. It is Friday night. BJ will be going to a high school football game at 7. Probably leave it at 6. So hopefully we can get a bunch done before he leaves, and then maybe me and Dad can finish it. I don't know. As always, plans are subject to change. So this is corn out of our dryer. That dryer is up and going again. We're drying up the corn we ran a couple days ago. Looks like we need to adjust our dryer. Ideally, we want this corn to be coming out of that dryer at like 16%. A little bit better. We're gonna go ahead and get commenced with the moving process. We're gonna take Dad's combine and head down. I'm gonna take the gleaner down, then we'll come back and get the gleaner head and the grain cart. It's Fish Friday, so BJ went into the local fish stand. And I guess we're having fish dinners in the combine, so yeah, better than a ham sandwich. We're getting tired of ham sandwiches. The air reel unhooked. Get the single point. Watch the dust go. And now we're ready to unhook. Maintenance. We ain't got time for maintenance. I'm joking. Rolling out. Time for some power ladder. Some flashers. No, not those kind of flashers. Flashing lights. I checked. Go after the rest of the stuff now, and we can get going. Well, I was going to take the grain cart down in the field, but brother BJ still has the door locked. So I guess we'll take my head down to the field and find BJ. Hopefully he's got our fish. I mean, it's not quite noon, but it is like 11 and I'm ready to eat. All right, I think we're ready to go. Take this truck down there to the combine and I'm gonna hop in it. BJ and Brad got to finish moving a couple things, but Dad and I are gonna get started. And by the time they get there, we should be both loaded. Hopefully, that's the plan. Sounds good to me. He's gonna give me a ride back to the Gleaner. Well, he's got to hook up too. My wind is real fast. It's helping, but these windows are still dirty. Good field cleaning, at least. We'll be able to see for a few hours. We'll give brother BJ a camera today. You guys can ride around in the grain cart. So one of my main complaints with the Gleaner is trying to hook up because you just can't see the feeder house very well. Especially right now, we've got a lot of dust right there. It's just poor visibility to hook up with. Man, these look like some good beans. Hopefully, once we get in them, we discover that they are good beans. This is the first of this variety. This is Pioneer 34 T21. We pretty much just harvested Sea Consultants. What was it? 7341 or something like that. It was a 3-4 bean. This is also a 3-4 bean.
Afternoon, folks. Hopped in the cab today to find a camera, so apparently Brian has run out of witty things to say, or Dad's too grumpy to talk on camera today. I don't know. Probably the first thing. Dad's always grumpy, but he's never too grumpy to talk on camera. Dad's in front of me, Brian's on the opposite side of the field, opening things up 40 foot at a time. Got a pipe bag pulled up on the iPad. You can see combines going around and around and around. Starting to fill up. It's been pretty interesting system to run this year. We used it a little bit last year, but not to maybe the potential. On this ticket screen, you can see where we're at. And I'll go into the field and there's no tickets there yet because we haven't done anything. Well, that's a nice glare right there on the screen. You can see me and the camera and not much else. Anyway, no data. So I click new ticket. Then I can bring up a ticket form and put in what truck I'm dumping on. Of course, we're in the soybeans. Right there will allow me to tell it where I'm dumping at. We'll be putting it in the bins on this farm. So one of the things that I've used this for is to know exactly how much we've put in a bin. That way, those of us with allergies to high places don't have to climb so many ladders, hopefully. Maybe we'll know exactly where we're at and how full we are. That's the goal anyway. Whether or not it happens, I don't know. We'll find out here in a couple weeks. Hey, look up there at the Gleaner. Can you see it? Is it too blurry? Yeah, there's about to be cab beans. And he's going to blame it on the cart operator. I can't get there from here. Give me about 10 minutes. We'll have a little path cut through there. But for right now, don't blame it on me, buddy. Not my fault you chose to go that direction.
So this is the first dump of the day. I'm dumping sitting still. I want to check. Oh shoot! To make sure. Oh gosh! Okay, thank you. Woo. More? No. I want to make sure that my weight is pretty right. Because we're yielding pretty high, I want to make sure that that is accurate and we're not getting a false reading.
And Brian must be wanting to recalibrate because he just asked me to get him a weight, so I zeroed my scales before he started dumping. And we are at a standstill. And the focus does appear to be much better. Still ugly. I know you guys love my windows this time of year.
So we were within 75 pounds. That's close enough for who it's for. So when we do the weights on a field, especially a bean field, we base that off of what the grain cart scales say. I mean, the grain cart's got a dry weight, beans are dry. This field we might be starting to touch wet, but there's no shrink to figure in on the cart for beans. And corn, we will still figure in the shrink. What I mean by that is as grain dries, it shrinks down a little bit. So basically your wet yield is always going to be higher than your dry yield in wet crops. But the ag leader will give us a wet yield and a dry yield reading. But like I said, the scales on the cart are very accurate. We always base what a field makes off of those. So I broke a section here. Not badly, but that will start messing with us later. That's going to be a problem eventually. We need to go get a section. We don't have any in the combine. I'm out. But I got to spot a whole box of them. They're in the truck, so I'll take a semi down there and go get that box of section. All right, got our sections. All right, finally. So breaking sections is just part of farming. It happens. No big deal. We're back to it. Come here, little guy. Come on. Weeful. So running these beans in this big field, we've got 2.5 acre passes, pretty long passes. We're running 75 to 80 bushel beans, so we're pouring in the bushels. The bushels. Show me your bushels.
There was just a minute-long conversation on the radio about where this grain cart needed to be emptied. Guess who was not part of that conversation? Yep.
So one thing we've got going on in this field, there's two different varieties. So if you have been watching for a while, our Horsch Avatar drill is a drill. So you're metering seed at the bottom. Well, we had the ability with that drill to put two varieties in each bin, like variety in one bin, variety in a different bin, and just feed out of that bin until it ran empty and then switch to the other bin. Well, that's what I was doing all year. So there's two different varieties in this field, but because the way Horsch does their labeling of data, one of the bins was labeled as seed, one of them was labeled as fertilizer. There was no way to make both those bins read fertilizer or both those bins read seed as far as data layering. So basically what that means for us in the combine, normally my varieties would automatically change since I was using this ag lead to run our planter. Like in the corn planter, that's what we got. Anytime we switch varieties, the monitor automatically keeps track of that. But since this is technically fertilizer, at least that's how the data was assigned, it's not doing that. I have to do that manually. So basically, every time we cross out of this blue line, this blue area, I'm coming up here to product, clicking region, and changing my variety. Kind of a pain in the butt. I don't like that about the Avatar. We're going to try something different with it next year. I think you can link both of those bins together to where it's pulling a little bit of, like half the rate out of each bin, and then we won't have to worry about that. But I did really like being able to carry two different varieties with me into any field. Like, I thought there was a lot of possibility for side-by-sides or putting different varieties in places that I thought they would do better. I just really wish Horsch would come up with some kind of software update to where we could have both of those seed bins assigned to seed and not fertilizer. Seed and fertilizer. Hopefully that makes sense.
Hey, look over in the distance, pulling that accelerator.
It's me.
Not really. I'm good, but I'm not that good. He's driving way too slow.
Rescued a BFR, or as George would call it, a Lovestone.
So this is probably going to be our last mobile cart dump. Friday night football, like I said earlier, so BJ is heading to watch football. His son plays on the football team, so he's been going to all the games on Fridays. So playing about an hour, about an hour actually. He might get a shower before he goes. Might just stink. Slow down, slow down, slow down. 2.5. There we go. Better? That better? I need those. Those are for me. You guys can't see it, but Brad's driving the grain cart. Yeah, okay, we'll see how it goes. That thing's fully autonomous now. So when Brad came and let me dump on him, he didn't have a whole lot of room, but I wasn't going to make it all the way to the end, so that was good. But we got to clear out, we got to empty out before we start again, so I'm waiting on him to dump more on the truck. Dad's waiting to dump. I think we got about 25 acres left, and we're going to try to finish it before it gets tough. It's getting tough quick, but I think we've got I know we have the trucks space to hold it. We have about 2.5 trucks, and then we'll have knocked out 150 today, which by the time we got rolling good, it was 130, so not bad. So we have right at 25 acres left. Awesome. Cart's full. Dump this grain cart so we can keep on keeping on. Getting cold. Supposed to get down to 32 tonight. Chile. Oh, looky there. So these beans are kind of lodged and leaning this direction. So when I turn around, I'm able to run pretty decent speed. But right now, where they're a little tough too, they're bunching up, and see, they'll come in a big wad. It's really slugging the machine. Just like pulling real hard, then not pulling real hard, then pulling real hard, then not pulling real hard. So I'm not running very fast. We're only running 2.1 miles an hour. And every now and then we're at max power when one of those slugs goes in. That's what I'm talking about, a slug. Just a big bunch of soybeans going in all at once. See my power meter just all over the place. Now when we turn around and we're running into the beans the way they're leaning, they'll feed really well, and we'll be able to run probably 1 mile an hour faster. Or at least a half a mile an hour faster. But this is just what happens when the sun goes down around here and it starts getting tough. Good news is we have like 14 acres left, maybe like 12. So I think we're just gonna try to knock it out, but it is definitely getting harder to feed. Now if we had an auger head, it would be even worse. So Draper head definitely helps, but I really miss my McDonald head. I think it maybe fed better than this AGCO head. Just a couple of shameless plugs here that I keep forgetting to mention today, but first off, if you're liking what you're seeing, subscribe to the channel. So we've been seeing some subscriber growth right now during harvest, which has been helping YouTube push our content, which has been awesome. So it really means a lot if you guys would subscribe and like the video. Also, if you are looking for some Brian's farming videos or Brown Farms merchandise, like our hats, hoodies, toboggans, stocking caps, whatever you call them, check the Farm Focus website. There is a link in the description. We have a 22% sale going on right now. 22% off. It's good till October 15th, and then it will be gone, and I don't know if it'll be back. So if you want to get some merch, good time to check that out. Here we can see Dad's ground speed. He's only running 2.3 miles an hour, so he's pulling pretty hard too. But like I said, now that we've turned around, we are able to run a little bit better. I'm running 2.6 right now. Unfortunately, or fortunately, however you want to look at it, we're not going to finish this field tonight because we don't have enough trucks. I thought we did. These beans, like I said. Yeah, I was going to take this thing out. I need fuel in the morning. Okay. But we don't have enough trucks, so we're gonna have to come back and finish tomorrow. We're gonna be about 5-6 acres short. It's just me and Dad out here. 5-6 acres ain't no big deal. We have more beans right beside it, so we're gonna call her quits. About 145 acres for the day. In the hoop barn we go. I can't see anything because it's so dusty in my mirrors. And it's dark, so I'm over here to turn the light on. Let there be light. Alrighty. That is it for combine action.
See ya.
Well, folks, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.